Sultan Spring Television, as it is.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasul al-Kareem Sayyid al-Amin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. أيها المستمعين الكرام في كل مكان أحييكم بالتحية الإسلامية قائلا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. It is another beautiful afternoon and this is your program Sabila Rashad. Sabila Rashad is coming to you mashallah from the stable of WSTV, that's Western Spring Television, here in Oshogo. And I remain your Sheikh Dr. Murtada Ibiyemi As-Sunusy, mashallah. Today we are looking at another topical issue. All we are doing on our program Sabila Rashad is to elevate our spiritual being and make sure that, mashallah, we are steadfast. That's istiqamah. We are steadfast in terms of our religion. We are steadfast in terms of our ibadah. We are steadfast in terms of our mu'amala, so that our Islam will be as being expected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and as being introduced by the Holy Prophet of Islam. MashaAllah, today we are looking at khushu'. Khushu' is another principle. It's a special principle that guides our hearts. It is another principle that betters our being. It's another principle that elevates our spiritual status. So as a Muslim, we must try as much as possible every day to make sure that, yes, we increase in our iman, we increase in our taqwa. And khushu' is one of the tools that can assist us to attain this, can assist us to achieve this, and that can assist us, mashallah, to be among the abidin. When we are talking of khushu' here, we are talking of, something that we guide our hearts, we make our hearts better off, we make our hearts healthy, physically, spiritually, and otherwise. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that very particular body, that particular heart, to be kept intact, to be kept healthy at all times. So for every Muslim, khushu' is very, very important. So when we are looking at khushu' now, we are looking at khushu' as the essential principle that can guide us to Istijaabah. Yes, as a Muslim, we need to be guided to Istijaabah. A lot of people have been disturbed from time to time saying that, oh, my prayer is not being accepted. My prayer, I don't know, I've been praying. We have those who are moving from one praying ground to another, from one mosque to another, from one afar to another, from one marba to another. So this is to tell you that what you need to take care of is not the house of worship. I mean, it's not where you are worshiping, but you need to take care of your heart. So when your heart is being magnetized with khushu', you get it right, mashallah. So khushu' is a way of beautify and purify our soul. So it's an humility. In simple words, khushu' is humility in the spirit of prayer. So, and if it is missing, that is, if khushu' is missing in our prayer, whether the prayer is salat, whether the prayer as duha, we know we have this prayer that is obligatory. When you want to perform your ritual salat, there's a specific way you have to do it. But when it comes to dua is flexible. So with the two, whether as salat, whether as dua, you have to apply khushu'. And khushu', if it is missing, it will, your salat or your dua will just be like an ordinary exercise. So it's because some of us understand the khushu'. That's why we always go to them to ask them to guide us to attain some spiritual level. So if you have khushu in you, definitely you will know exactly how to go about your prayer and your spiritual exercise. Says, yes, our salat will not just be a body without life. So with khushu simply means that, yes, the life have been injected into our body. That's khushu. We have a lot of people that they will be saying La ilaha illallah, but because there's no khushu in their heart, it will mean another thing. So you have a lot of people that are praying, but when they are praying, the Quran says that they stand kusal and they stand absent-minded. Absent-minded. So with khushu, you'll be conscious of whom you are praying to. You'll be conscious of whom you are serving. You'll be conscious of where your supplication is going. And you'll be conscious of how you manage that spirituality of your life, so that you will always, steadily be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So khushu is very, very important in our day-to-day life. That's humility in prayer, humility in ibadah. So the only Quran, Allah says in the Holy Quran, قَدْ يَفُلَّهَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. That is, they have succeeded, the believers. They have succeeded, the believers. What makes them succeed is because الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي الصَّلَاةِ خَاشِعُونَ. Whenever they stand to pray, they were there with conscience. They were there with humility. They were guided with those principles. And those principles have assisted them, have made them to constantly remain with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So their mind will not waver. The mind will not waver. The mind will be very, very concentrated in whatever they are doing. So it's so much important for us as a Muslim to make sure that, yes, at all time, we are guided with this very particular principle called the principle of khushu. One of our leaders is called Ibn Jazir. In his tafsir, he says, Al-khushu ala fil qalb min al-khawf. That is, khushu is something that, yes, it's really and actually guided our qalb, our heart. It is a kind of exercise. It's a kind of principle that guides our heart. So if we need our heart to be guided, mashallah, all we need to do is to make sure, mashallah, that, yes, we are guided with this principle of khushu. The principle of khushu, it makes us always be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our mind. In our mind, we have nothing to think of than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, most especially when we stand in praying to Him, when we stand in serving Him. We were told that there are a lot of the Sahaba that when they stand praying, they forget that they are in this world. Their minds is clearly connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is khushu. That is khushu. In fact, someone says that, oh, someone got wounded and they want to remove the foreign object in his body. And he told them that the only time you can get it removed is when I'm praying. Because I won't even know. It's just like somebody has been injected before the operation. So he won't know the pain or get the pain when he's being operated upon. So he said that when you want to remove the foreign object in me, the only time that it can be possible is when I'm praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because my mind will be clearly away from this world. My mind will be solely glued to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what we are talking about. So as a Muslim, we need to make sure that, mashallah, we get in zone with this principle of khushu. And it will assist us a lot. It will assist us a lot. So when we are praying, we'll be praying with that consciousness. We'll be praying with that consciousness. And definitely our prayer will be accepted, because we know exactly where we are directing our prayer to. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there to accept our prayer. So that connection will be so much dear for us. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, yes, I'm the only one that you should be worshiping. So your mind will be there that, no, I'm not worshiping anyone than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Islam is encouraging us that, yes, we should always stay away from ostentation, because khushu is almost an opposite of riyah. With khushu, you will not want to play to gallery, more especially when it comes to ibadah. when it comes to your salat, you will not want to play to gallery. We have a lot of people today that when they start praying in the public, you will see them demonstrating, reading with very melodious voice, demonstrating as if they are speaking. I mean, that voice will be so synchronized. But the point is that when they are praying in their room, they have another style of praying. So, but they want people to see them that, oh, they fear Allah in their prayer. So this is ostentation, this is riyah. So whatever you are doing in your closet is what you should be doing in the open. You shouldn't take salat as if, I wonder many a times, and it is because there is no khushu. When you find an imam taking the speaker, holding the speaker while he was praying, then I keep asking, you are praying to who? You are supplicating to who? When you keep shouting with your prayer, no, you don't need to do that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there very close to you. MashaAllah, we go on short break now. So we will be right back, MashaAllah. So just stay with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
يا من صليت بكل الأنبياء، يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس، يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي، حبيبي يا محمد، أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد، حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد، يا من حليت حياتنا بالإيمان، يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان، يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي، حبيبي يا محمد، أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد، حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد، محمد رحمة للعالمين، رحمة للعالمين.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, mashallah. You're welcome back to your program. This is Sabili Rashad. And Sabili Rashad, mashallah, is where we are discussing some certain principles in Islam that will guide our heart, mashallah, to become a better Muslim and to become more devoted servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, today we are talking of khushu. And I'm glad to have my Imam in the house, Imam Musbadin Olawali, mashallah. So, Imam, salam alaikum. Yes, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm saying barakah Juma to all our viewers at home, all our listeners at home. We praying we shall all witness the many wonderful Juma in the service to Almighty Allah. And may He accept us an act of ibadah. I greet one again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, Imam, I've defined khushu and I've talked how khushu is so much important in our life as a Muslim. So, I want you to please look at the difference between khushu and taqwallah.
Alhamdulillah, the word of khushu has to be al-khushu, the humility, the sincerity, the devoted, the Muslim, why worshiping Allah, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be humble, why calling Allah, be humble, why praying to Allah. Even be humble among the servant to a servant, especially when talking about uluhiyya, that is sincere oneness of Allah. So that is a simple definition that make it different with taqwa is humility, sincerity, and also devoted to Allah. That is al-khushu. Then when talking about taqwa is very, very broad than khushu. Taqwa means to abstain from doing anything that will bring about the wrath or displeasure of Allah. Something that Allah will annoy, something that Allah will punish you. Allah have said it clearly. I've revealed my guidance to you. You need to follow it wholeheartedly. You don't have anything except Allah. You don't have other thinking, worshiping Allah in your own way. So everything about it has been designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So taqwa has to be, says, فَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Fear me, those the pious of Allah, those who for Allah, you should always fear me, whatever you are. That means taqwa is broader than, more explicit than what we call al-khushu. You know, talking of taqwa, you just have to have fun. What Allah said, you should not move closer. Why avoiding alcoholic? That is part of taqwa. Why not doing sinner? That is part of taqwa. Why not associate anything with Allah? That is part of taqwa. So taqwa means whatever Allah says, abstain. Don't move closer to it. If you move closer to it, you are going to be punished. You are going to be, you will face the consequence from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in another hand, taqwa, why I say taqwa is more, explicit than khushu is that when you get it right, Allah will also, Allah will also reward you abundantly. So anything you do right under the taqwa, you get your reward.
Alhamdulillah. So what you are saying is that khushu is to assist our ibadah.
Exactly.
But taqwa is to be is an act of piety, to become pious. Is more broader.
It's more broader than
khushu. So khushu many a times is just applicable to the ibadah.
So not many a times, khushu and ibadah are interwoven.
Okay.
They go pari passu.
Okay.
They assist one another. It says Faiza farakta fansab wa ila rabbika fariga. When you finish your prayer, be patient. That is khushu. You want to see how you render yourself humble before Allah. You want to see how you supplicate to Him. At times Allah says, I will not be pleased if you finish your prayer. You are not saying, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. That is part of khushu. But at taqwa, when you are starting, so taqwa will drive you to the point of khushu. So there's a channel between khushu and taqwa. Taqwa first, under uluhiyya, under tawheed. So after that, al-khushu will now assist your taqwa to become pious of Allah.
Okay, so we have to apply the taqwa, and with taqwa, mashallah, so it will be easier for you to imbibe khushu. And khushu, as I'm getting it right, if I'm getting it right, mashallah, khushu is just like a soul, and ibadah is the body. So you have to have the soul so that the body will work effectively.
Do remember, Imam, you said, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. So to be humble is very, very difficult, except those who fear Allah. He said, except those who fear Allah. That means you want to be among those who have the khushu, you have to fear Allah first. So khushu will drive you, taqwa will drive you to khushu. After khushu, then you become the pious of Allah. He said, الَّذِينَ يَظُنُّونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُلَقُّو رَبِّهِمْ وَأَنَّهُ إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. The people that are sure that they will definitely meet their creator one day. Those are them you find in the house of khushu.
So with that mindset, so someone will be conscious of God more during the prayer, and even when he's not praying, because he knows that he's going one day will meet with his creator. And when he's meeting with his creator during the salat, he will have that consciousness, and he will be humble, he will get humble.
Ramadan has to be within the ibadah and taqwa and khushu.
Okay.
If I'm telling you that I'm not fasting, you can't arrest me. But if I'm fasting, you can't reward me. It's only what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can reward me that says I should fast. That I'm now fasting with my khushu, with humble. In Ramadan, you can see people say, I'm fasting. So that fasting just have to be with khushu, with humility,
to humble,
with humility, with sincerity. So even though within you and your box, you have to render the humility. You have to be sincere. You just have to play that khushu in any way, either private office or public office. It will require al-khushu.
Okay, mashallah. Yes, Imam, let's look at this. How can we improve on our khushu? Because I think it's something that comes gradually. So it's not something that can be generalized. It couldn't be uniform. We have it more than from one person to another, you have it in grades.
I think first of all, you have to keep on learning about Islam.
About Islam, to understand Islam.
The concept, the ethics of Islam.
Okay, ignorance cannot give you that opportunity, but knowledge.
Knowledge has its hold.
Okay.
The moment you are learning, you are moving closer to Allah. You are acquiring the love of Allah in your heart. You are acquiring the love of Allah in your eyes. You're even acquiring the love of Allah, whatever your activity, your daily routine. That one increases your faith daily. That is the first concept when you are gaining the khushu. The second one, avoid major and minor sin. The avoiding of that major and minor sin will assist you to move closer to Allah. That means you are driving in your khushu in your heart. Okay. You are driving your khushu in your tongue. You know, Prophet Muhammad said, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi." If you are not humble, if you are not, playing that khushu concept, you will not be able to humble before the fellow human being, even though before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who humble will never move closer to have, to involve in sin, to engage themselves in sin. Another thing, reciting the Quran frequently, daily, even though 2 or 3 verses will assist you to move closer to Allah. You believe nothing happened. Is that all your activities, daily routine, monthly, yearly, you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at you wholeheartedly. Whatever you do, you will account before Allah. That's why it says, Maliki Yawmiddin. You believe the king of the judgment. Even though here and hereafter you shall be judged. Another thing, while reciting Quran every minimize attaching to worldly matter. Do not involve in worldly matter. You just have to respect yourself in terms of materialism. You believe whatever you acquire this life, you leave them behind. Why accounting to Allah? The first in the grave. The second one is the 2 angels will came down to you after your burial. Then they will ask you a question. Whatever you acquire, that Islam doesn't say do not, work and hang your daily need. But what does it say? Minimize the worldly attachment.
Your engagement with the world.
Yes, you minimize.
So you increase your engagement with God.
You believe that everybody will become hadithin. You will become the word. You will become what they discuss after you. You know, that our list Bani Afanta, he has now became what a discussion after him. So everybody will become a discussion matter after she or he might have left this life. Another thing, avoid excess level, useless argument. You know, useless argument does not help the matter in this life. Involved in a matter that will hand you knowledge about Islam. Learn every day. So another thing, that do not abuse the opportunity given to you. Our life is an opportunity given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not abuse it. By what? Believe in Allah, believe in angel, believe in Rasul, do good, and avoid abusing people. Do not, do not involve in something that is harm the so-called community. Another thing is that social skill. Your social skill must include khushu al-khushu. Why I say that? Is that, we are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The moment you are involving in a social skill, engaging in something with another, we are in a company now. You just have to apply your khushu while dealing with your boss. While boss is dealing with his or her staff in a company, you will just have to acquire that khushu among them. So that they then see you are humble. Let them say you have played a sincerity concept among them. Do not hold them. Even though you are holding them, call the meeting of your staff. Be sincere to them that this is the reason. Then in a so called, how we pay you. You might go at 10 times. You might go at 10 times. So
thank you, Imam Sad. That's a very comprehensive one, mashallah. That is, we should always try to see the company we keep and those whom we sit down with. So when you sit down with the people of Satan, you will behave like them. But when you sit down with the saint-minded people, you will behave like saints. So we've heard it from our Imam Misbah. Thank you very much for being here this evening as usual. I thank you listeners at home, mashallah, and viewers at home who are viewing our program from wherever you are viewing us from, mashallah. So yes, we round it off for today, mashallah. And we tell you that, yes, until next week, when we come your way, special thanks to the crew and all those who have been assisting this program. Yes, from Dartmouth, we've been getting a lot of assistance. And we pray that Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept all that we are doing as act of ibadah. And remain your Sheikh, Dr. Murtada Ibiyemi As-Sunusy. MashaAllah, until next week, when I come your way, I say, Masalam wa ila laqa.